to my Diablo 4 Collector's Edition unboxing. You may be asking yourself, why am I unboxing this so late? And I will answer that. Number 1. For many years now, Australian and other Oceania fans of gaming and specialised or collection editions have been poorly treated by the gaming giants such as Sony, Xbox, Valve, EA, etc. Number 2. The quantities of these games have always been well under numbers compared to the amount of players wanting them. The two major distributors of these collection editions are EB Games and JB Hi-Fi in Australia. That is not very many suppliers overall for the amount of people who are gaming. Point 3. I know this is a first world problem, but we all are here because of our love for video games and for collecting video game memorabilia such as collector's editions, so we can look fondly back on them and the great times we had with a particular game. I have been pushed well past my tolerance levels for the behaviour of these companies for some time, and today I am calling out two specific American-based companies. One is Limited Run Games. Although I have heard that they've improved recently over the years, price and freight of some of these editions, after you factor in the exchange rate, is frankly ludicrous. The larger editions are generally completely out of reach for most people, although I admit that their smaller releases, i.e. games only, are a tad more affordable. Valve is massively known for this. A few years back, they had a massive tantrum and they got fined by the Australian Consumer Watchdog due to not adhering to Australian consumer law, and I believe they were fined somewhere in the ballpark of $3 million. Since then, there has been no Steam Deck and an extremely delayed release of their top virtual reality headset. Here you can see the picture on the screen of the price of Diablo 4 edition and the freight cost associated with it to my address. Yes, those figures are correct. With the current exchange rate of Australian to US, it would cost me a whopping 480 Australian dollars to get this from Blizzard Direct. The original Diablo 4 at EB Games was $166, and obviously it sold out within hours. Along with this, Blizzard only offers you one way of postage, and that is through FedEx, costing a whopping 200 American dollars. That is 2 times the value of Diablo 4 Collector's Editions. But enough of my rant. Let's have a look inside this Collector's Edition of Diablo 4. I have good things about it, so let us get onto the unboxing. First point to note. No physical disc comes with this edition. This is unfortunately starting to become more and more of a pattern in the industry, and the consumers are liking it less and less. However, the collection does make up for this, and I will get to that point further on. Second point to note, the outside of the box is made of very tough material, and you can expect it to last in this quality for years, if not a decade, as long as it's kept well and looked after. The box itself weighs 5 kilograms and 1.2 kilograms without all the contents in it. The side of each box of the box correction sports the number 4 for Diablo 4 in Latin. The first to come out of the box are 2 paintings printed on cardboard, one depicting the demon army and the other the angel Inarius and the demon Lilith. Both are finely made but still require a frame and perhaps a glass covering to keep the dust off and enhance longevity when they are put up on the wall. Next, we come to the art book of Diablo 4, weighing in at 2 kilograms, featuring 300 pages, mostly of illustrations and designs of various character bosses, enemies, and so forth. It is very nicely made, again screaming with quality, and could possibly be put out on a table to serve as a coffee table book. It's that good. Next up is a 5cm yellow pin of the Herodrim emblem. It showcases the symbol of the Herodrim Society in the game. This is again just a nicety to have on display, but no doubt many cosplayers will find it a worthwhile way to stylize their cosplay outfits. Next is a 400 by 600mm Sanctuary world map printed on fabric with an artificial aging effect. It is of little practical use as the in-game map is more than satisfactory, and the actual place names on the fabric are very hard to read. It is obviously there again for a stylized effect. Next up, we have what's called the Candle of Creation, and probably the cream of the crop of this whole collector's edition. The candle and the candle holder weigh in at 1 kilogram. It's a plastic candle powered by 2 AA batteries, which last for weeks. I have been told, and you'll see in the videos, that the candle glows rather than shines, so don't expect it to illuminate too much of your room. I tested it out last night. It looked phenomenal, but yeah, it did not illuminate much of the area whatsoever. Lastly, we come to a mouse map with an occult-like symbol on it. The texture is very smooth and slippery, and one wonders how long it would last before wearing out when pressed under the load and game time of a player. It is again there for display purposes, and I myself already have a mouse pad, so this will be going perhaps under the glowing candle of creation that we talked about earlier. None of these items in the collector's edition are sold separately, which makes this even more of a must-buy for hardcore Diablo fans. However, if you are guided by average prices for similar products in the Bethesda shop, it would probably tally to approximately 150 to 180 American dollars. To add to that, you're also getting a very sturdy, very attractive box of the collector's edition, which will last you years, like I said before. This is unlike other collector's editions, for example The Last of Us 2, which was about as tough as a squashed tomato. With the collector's edition priced at under $100 US, you can already see the value proposition here, regardless of the edition not having a physical disc of the game. Point to note, the recent Armored Core 6 collection collector's edition did have a full physical copy of the game inside. That review is on my YouTube channel if you wish to watch. So guess what, Blizzard? If From Software can do it, so can you. Stop being such a bastard and penny pinching for your customers. As a finale, I bring forward again the issue of freight costs. I mentioned Eastern Europe at the start of this unboxing, and currently, if you were to purchase the game in, say, Ukraine through a Ukrainian website, it would cost 390 American dollars. That is 600 Australian dollars. I know Ukraine is an odd choice to make, but it just showcases to you how much people would need to pay, especially with conversion rates in areas like South America, Eastern Europe, and of course here in Oceania. As you can see, the whole process of unboxing has been an impressive affair, and it was deliberately made so by the designers. If you ask yourself the question, is this collector's edition worth the $96 you pay in the US, minus freight costs, to anywhere but Europe or North America, then I would personally have to say yes. In fact, I am tossing up between this and the Cyberpunk Collector's Edition as the best Collector's Edition of the last few years. Doom Eternal is up there as well, with its amazing life-size Doom Marine helmet, and also the recent Starfield Constellation Edition with its smartwatch. I cannot and will not recommend anyone spending ludicrous amounts for freight of this item. It's a complete and utter rip-off, unless you consider yourself the most elite die-hard of Diablo fans, or a rabid loot goblin of limited or collector's editions, which I would probably put myself in that latter category. A big minus, again, for this edition is the lack of physical copy of the game. I hope this does not become a pattern in the future. If you take away the abysmal freight prices, I'm guessing the box gets flown on a first-class seat on a Gulfstream private jet for that price, and the lack of a physical copy, the edition gets a solid 9 out of 10, one of the best collector's editions in recent years. Otherwise, I have to drop 2 points and give it a 7 out of 10. I'm sorry, but the lack of physical copy is unacceptable and further shows the greed and contempt these companies have for their consumer. The freight price, while you can argue whether it can be factored into the equation, and I say yes, makes it completely unaffordable for most people of school age or people new to the workforce. And that unfortunately is a shame. But alas, what did we expect after Diablo Immortals? Hopefully the recent acquisition of Activision Blizzard under the Xbox wing will shake the right branches and Xbox doesn't go down the path Sony has set itself up during Jim Ryan's reign. That is, disrespect of the consumer and his time and money. So I thank you for tuning in to this unboxing. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like and subscribe and share the video if you enjoyed it. I guarantee you there is plenty more to come. P.S. A shout out to my affiliate Sam at Veteran Games Australia. If you haven't checked out his site yet or his LinkedIn profile, then I would suggest it's a good idea, especially if you're a veteran, and you might find a lot out there or a lot in there that is beneficial to you. Thank you again for tuning in, and I will see you again soon.